Welcome back everyone. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the different management options or different administration web pages that are available for us to manage the Unified CCX. In this lecture, we're going to discuss about the Unified CCX administration web page or the Unified CCX app admin page. We would be discussing the different menus and different administration options that are available for us to provision the Unified CCX. With that said, let me go ahead and open up the Unified CCX administration web page. Okay, here we are in the Unified CCX administration page where you can see the different menus that are available here. So first we will try to take a look at the system menu where we have the server option, which provides a list of Unified CCX server that are configured in a Unified CCX cluster. In this lab, we have only one Unified CCX node, and you would be able to see that name here and the node ID and its status. You can see the status is partial service, and it's because of the reason if you go over to the Unified CCX serviceability web page under Tools Control Center, and you would see the server is listed here, and you could see that the Unified CCX engine is in partial service. Okay, it's because of the reason the Subsystem Manager, under the Subsystem Manager, you can see the Unified CM Telephony Subsystem is out of service. Don't worry about the not configured status. It doesn't count for this partial state. This is the problem. This is the cause for the Unified CCX to be in partial service. And I would say that this would be temporarily for some time. Once we start configuring the Unified CM Telephony Subsystem, we would see that Unified CM Telephony Subsystem would be in service, which would definitely make the Unified CCX engine to be in service. So once we're done with that, we will come back to this page and we can see the status of the server, which would definitely be in service state. So the next one is Cisco Unified CM configuration. We already visited this page during the integration of Unified CCX with Unified CCM. This page would provide option for us to configure the AXL service provider information and the list of servers and the Unified CM Telephony Subsystem and RMCM Subsystem, where we would be providing the list of CDA manager for the Unified CCX to contact the CDA manager for different purposes. And I have selected only one node here because I was seeing some kind of performance issue with my ESXi data store. So I have shut down the subscriber server and removed the server from the list of service providers and list of CDA managers. But this doesn't make any difference. But we would be having only one node for communication from Unified CCX to the Unified CCM. So the next one is the system parameters. Here we have different options available. The main one is the codec. There are two configurable codec. One is G711 and G729. Please keep in mind when we say G711, the Unified CCX system would be natively able to establish a call only with G711. If any end device or if any devices endpoints try to negotiate either G729 or any other codec other than G711, the Unified CCX would not be natively able to stream out the G729 or any other codec except G711. It doesn't natively do transcoding, we can say. So for the conversion to happen, for example, if you have remote site and phones, if you have a policy that your remote phones should establish only G729 codec to the headquarters location. Okay, so consider this is in headquarters, this Unified CCX in headquarters. In that condition, if your phones try to negotiate G729, it would do because the CUCM would help in negotiate to G729, but once the call established, the call would definitely fail. It's because the Unified CCX does not natively support different codecs other than what we configured here. To support that, you should have to involve a transcoder so that when the remote phones establish a G729 call, the transcoder resource in the local site or in the headquarters would convert those G729 to G711 and then it send those stream out to the Unified CCX. This way you can prevent the call from failure. And The supervisor access, you have three different options. One is no access to teams. That means the supervisor cannot see any teams, or access to all teams, and it's self-explanatory, and access to supervisor team only. I would like to set to this because when we configure the team, I would be providing the primary and secondary supervisors so that when supervisors log into their CST, they would be able to access their configured team, access the team that are configured for them, or access the team where they are configured as the supervisors. Okay, so the maximum number of executed steps is set to 1000. It is to prevent any kind of loop that happens inside the script. It prevents the script from indefinitely executing the step, which would definitely cause resource starvation in unified CCX server like CPU or memory. So it would definitely make your system unstable. So to prevent that from happening, it is set to 1000. It's not recommended to change it. It's this value would definitely work for your all environment. And the default session timeout is set to 30. That means if any of the web pages in Unified CCX is idle for more than 30 minutes, it would kick you out of the session. And these are the default port information. You don't have to touch it until and unless tag says or you have a valid reason to do it. And the next one is the custom file configuration. In the Unified CCX is preloaded with a lot of steps or Java jar files. If you have an environment and you're looking for some kind of Java steps or Java beans, that is not by default available with Unified CCX. You can write your own codes and create that as a jar files, and you can upload to the server so that you can make use of those steps in the Unified CCX script editor. The language and the licensing information, can click display the license and we can see that we are running a demo license. I have uploaded a premium demo license which provides full functionality of the premium package for 30 days. And these are the number of IVR ports and different seats we have, and high availability is also supported. And you can see the license MAC. You can also see the license MAC from CLI by executing the show status command. And here you have the add license page where you can upload your permanent license to the Unified CCX server. So the language information, we already visited this during the initial setup of Unified CCX. This is same as the one that we visited already. And here we have the different management options that are available. The application management is a place where we would be creating the applications and would create or associate the appropriate trigger inside the application. We would be coming back to this when we do the actual lab on application. These provide some management for adding the files to the repository, where script management provides the administrator to add, delete, or refresh the scripts to the Unified CCX script repository. Likewise, the prompt provides managing the custom prompts and system prompts in Unified CCX. And grammars and documents, they also provide the same function where we would be using these to manage the grammar and document files such as XML files. We can make use of those XML files in the script. And AR management is a place where you can upload almost all different files like grammar, documents, prompts, scripts, even application in a bulk in the format of an archive. If you go over to this and if you look at the help page, you will be able to see the sample file that tell you how you should upload those information and what should be the format is. Most of the time we would be using these to almost manage different repository in our Unified CCX. And subsystem, we have different subsystems available. We would be mainly using Unified CM, Mcm Subsystems, and HTTP. First, let's take a look at the Unified CM Telephony Subsystem. And this is the provider information. You can see the list of CDA servers that we configure. And you can, I believe you still remember that in this page we have configured the list of CDA providers for the unified CM telephony provider, and that is listed here, and this is the user prefix that is configured over there. And call control group we discussed, which provides a pool of IVR ports or a pool of CTI ports in unified CM. And triggers is nothing but the CTI route point in unified CM. These we would be using to synchronize the data between the unified communication manager and UCCX, so that when we create applications and trigger, we should be able to see all the different parameters from unified CM to the unified CCX. And then we have Mcm Subsystem. It provides interface for the administrator to create the skills, resources or agents, the resource group, so that you can associate the resources to either to the skill or to the resource group, or you can assign the resource to the both skill and resource group. That is also possible. The contact service queue is the one which tells how and where to route the call. Is it based on longest idle time, or is it based on most skilled or least skilled, or maybe most skilled by order or least skilled by order? We have different options that are available. And where to route the call. Should we route the call out to the resource group or to the resource skill? So these can be provided in the contact service queue. We will revisit these once we configure few applications. So RMCM provider is almost similar to what we seen in CM telephony provider, which provides a list of CTA managers. And using the assign skills, we can assign the skills to the agents. Even through the resource page, we can assign the skills to the agents. So remote monitor provides options for the supervisor to monitor the agents even out of the enterprise network. Maybe he's sitting on his home, or he can even do the monitoring from his cell phone. He would simply call out the remote monitoring trigger number, and you should be able to monitor the agents or based on CSQ as well. So agent-based routing provides information about the automatic work settings. We can enable this so that whenever the agent finishes up his call, he may be pushed into the work state rather than pushing him back to the ready or not ready, so that he can do some wrap-up work such as updating the information that he received from the customer. You can enable this, and you can provide the wrap-up time, say for example 30 seconds or 60 seconds. So during the whole duration of 30 or 60 seconds, the agent would be in work state, and then he can be either pushed to the ready or not ready state. And team, this is the page where you would be configuring the teams and associate their primary and secondary supervisors to that. Chat is for the web chat functionality, and outbound is for outbound voice. We discussed about 3 different outbound options that are available. One is preview, outbound dialing, outbound IVR dialing. One is progressive, and other one is predictive. We discussed about those in the overview section. And here you have the option to integrate your unified CCX with database, so that you can send out queries and pull the information from your database. And this is the page where you would be configuring the HTTP based triggers, and we will take a look at few HTTP triggers and see how does it works. And through email, you can configure your email server information or exchange server information here. And also you can provide the email address of this UCCX server. So whenever the UCCX send out an email for any purpose, maybe it's sending an email for an alert, or maybe sending the reports out to the different people, it would be using this email as a from email address. Cisco Media provides a media dialog group, which would be used for DDMO functions by unified CCX. This MRCP, ASR, and TTS, which is automated speech recognition and text-to-speech, which would be provided by third-party servers like Nuance or IBM using this MRCP protocol, which is a Media Resource Control Protocol. For this to function, you should have a third-party server that should be installed on a dedicated server. And we have 2 different wizards that are available. One is Application Wizard. Through this, you can do a lot of things, like if you can take a look at the description of steps, you can see through this, you can upload your scripts, you can upload your prompts, grammars, documents, And finally, you can create the application and trigger. If you're not much familiar with the unified CCX system, you would be able to use this easy to navigate wizard and simply configure your applications. And you also have the Mcm Wizard, which provides the administrator the option to configure different Mcm subsystems like skills, resource group, and assigning the skills or resource group to the resources, add the supervisors, and you can do almost everything here, and even create an application at the end of this page. So from tools, you have option to go into the plugins where you would be able to download the different plugins, the desktop plugins such as Cisco Agent Desktop for resources or Cisco Supervisor Desktop for supervisors. And even you can download the Cisco Desktop Administrator where you can create the workflow groups. And also plugin provides administrator to download the RTMT tool. Those real-time reporting provides a real-time information about your UCCX, like how many number of calls in the queue based on the CSQ, or maybe based on different parameters that would be seen from this real-time reporting. This is basically a Java-based web page which would provide a lot of information for the administrator. And historical reporting, which provides the administrator to configure the different historical reporting tool or historical reporting client. So with UCCX 901.90, you have option to configure either historical reporting client or Unified Intelligence Center as a reporting client. You can either select either one of this. And the reporting session number is 5 that we configured during the initialization of Unified CCX. And user management, through this you would be able to configure the capabilities for different users. For example, you can configure a user as an agent. Through administrator capability, you should be able to see the administrators, supervisors, reporting capabilities, and different agents that are available. Through user view, you would be able to see almost every users. I believe you would be able to see at least 75 users. If you want to see more, you have to search with the name and find it out. But through this, you would be able to, through this window, you would be able to only see the administrators that are configuring Unified CCX. Spoken name upload is a page where you can upload the recorded name of the agent. Say, for example, the agent name is agent 1. You can record a prompt or wave file with agent 1 and you can upload to the name. In some case, if you want to stream out the name of the agent to the customer, it would help you in that. So that's all about the menus or different options we would be mostly using throughout the course. With that said, I would like to stop this lecture for now, and I will see you in next class or lecture. Thanks for watching.